Hey everyone, my name is Sylvia. Today we're going to talk trans issues with Chantelle, also known as Farra N Hyte when she hits the stage. Hi, Chantelle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted to ask you about some of the controversies going on with transgendered issues going on in the news.
Absolutely.
One of them, of course, a big thing going on is the bathroom controversy in the South. And where do you sit on this? Where do you stand?
I think for me the whole issue is more than it's not just a bathroom issue. It's a gender-specific area space. So for example, it won't just be bathrooms. It will be change rooms. So someone like me would have to get changed in a men's locker room if I went to a gym or if I went to a public pool. Things like dressing rooms in stores. So trying on a wedding dress for a trans female will now be non-existent because those spaces are considered female only. And so what you're doing is breaking down society into you belong with us and you don't because of... And the thing that bothers me is nobody knows. If you know what's going on between my legs while I'm going to the bathroom, then who's the pervert in the situation?
Right.
Because I'm sitting there going pee, and if you know what I have, then you're peeking on me. I've been living my life full-time as a woman for 8 or 9 years now. I've gone to the bathroom in that 8 or 9 years, and I always go to the female bathroom, and I've never been stopped or questioned or asked, and so now you're telling me that you've decided that I'm a predator. Someone wrote an article the other day on social media, and they said the largest risk factor is the whole topic of pedophilia, pedophiles, and which is mainly done by heterosexual men who prey on little boys. So it doesn't change anything because men are still going to go into the same bathroom as that little boy's going to. And so why would, if we're basing it on children, most parents would send their child into a public bathroom and wait outside. If you saw someone that looked suspicious of any gender, would you not go in with your child anyway?
Yeah. If a pedophile or a predator of any kind is going to commit a crime and you pass a law on bathrooms, they're a pedophile. They're a criminal anyways. They're not going to pay attention to the law.
No. Well,
it's just really frustrating.
You're profiling transgender people as now, because it's something we're only now beginning to understand. That's only now through social media, through television being brought to light as a topic of public conversation and mass knowledge. Now it's all of a sudden transgender people are something to be feared. So it's only sort of in a North American culture that transgender as an issue has become an issue or is an issue, and things like the bathroom law are being passed to inhibit the natural growth of society.
Yeah, they should have. And when I was talking to Michael about this, they should have just gender-neutral bathrooms anyways, like they do in many countries in Europe. Traveling must there's difficulties. There's difficulties I know from traveling across the border with drag because they pull you over and what the heck do you need this for and all that. Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm going out on Thursday. I don't know. But for you, it's not only that, but it's a stance that you have to take. What's your experience like?
I had a bad experience, actually. I was going to Las Vegas for, I think, a holiday. It was nothing important. And I was traveling to the U.S. Customs, and I gave them my passport, and the passport officer said, "What is this?" Pointed to the gender. And I said, "It says male." He said, "I understand that." And I said, "I'm transgendered. I'm a transsexual woman. I live my life as a woman." "Well, you need to show me a doctor's note that says that." And I said, "There is no doctor's note. They don't give you a note that says, 'Surprise, today you've decided you're a girl.'" So they pulled me aside. They took my luggage. They took my handbag. They took everything and separated me from all of my belongings and put me in a room. And they brought all the officers in, and they put my photos on the screen. So they take pictures of you and fingerprinted me. And then they put them on the screen, and they brought all the officers in who were laughing and joking and whatever. So then they called me up to the desk and said, "What are you doing today?" I said, "I'm going to Vegas." "Well, what are you going for?" I said, "I'm going to do some shopping and gambling and see some shows and enjoy myself." And they said, "Oh, okay. And, how much," just normal questions. "How much money are you bringing?" Whatever. "How's your day going?" I said, "Well, I was going pretty good till you guys decided that this isn't, me being me is an issue." And they said, "Okay, well, have a good day, sir." Gave me my stuff, and I left.
A final dig.
Right? Just to make sure I understood why I was there. So that like a month later, it was kind of funny. I was going to Florida for work. And I got to the thing and I thought, okay, here we go. First time since, it's going to happen. They scanned my ID and the guy said, "Can I ask you a personal question, ma'am?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Did someone pull you in an office a month and a half ago And he like had to, and I said, yeah. And he said, I want to apologize on behalf of the rest of the staff that was there that day, but we've made a note on your passport so it'll never happen again. You're safe to travel. So honestly, since then, I really haven't had a lot of trouble. I mean, I have to explain sometimes with the amount of drag I do. But for me, it's lucky because I live as a woman. So I can just say, you know, you tell me a woman that doesn't bring 10 outfits for 3 days of whatever, sightseeing. I don't know what I'm going to wear until I decide, you know, until some days I feel fat, some days I feel this. So I bring options. And
it's all low cut.
Exactly. It's all rhinestone. It makes sense. So, yeah.
See, there's more good people than bad people out there.
It happens. There's always a good, you know, apple in the bunch.
So your family,
huge
supporters of yours, huge supporters of everybody. I see them all at everything that you do. Difficult for them at first? Because first, you know, as sort of coming out as gay, or as one would have to, I suppose.
I think it wasn't, I think they were more upset that they did something wrong, that they made a mistake somewhere, and so that it was something they did. My dad's a paraplegic, which you know, but you know, they don't know. And so when I was little and growing up, I spent most of my time with my mom. So most of my developmental years were spent with my mom in a sort of very motherly, nurturing way. And so it was them thinking, my dad thinking, I didn't get to, you know, play ball and teach him how to ride a bike and do sports and put him into hockey. And my mom thinking he spent too much time with me, you know, shopping or cooking or whatever. There was never enough of a masculine influence or too much. And it wasn't that at all. So it took time for me to explain and get them to understand that I was always the same person. I've always been me. It was just that the outside didn't match who I was on the inside. And it just took me time to figure that out for myself.
And it took time for them to...
Absolutely. Yeah. But they came around and, I mean...
Literally, they're all around. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. If they can come with me, they'll be there, pretty much.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, too, about Canada and the States. There's I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, there's a big difference in how the gay community, treats transgendered entertainers here in Canada than in the States. I find the States is much more, accepting and inclusive, and they yearn for it, they seek it out.
Absolutely. I think mostly it's the opportunity to see it. When you look at a city like Toronto, there are very few transgendered performers, entertainers that you see on a regular basis that people become familiar with and get to know. And when you go to the US, a lot of the the circles I travel in are with a lot of pageant girls and girls that compete on a very high level of competition. And so a lot of those girls and the names that come with those girls are mostly transgendered entertainers. So a lot of the bars that I work in when you go to the US it's more prevalent to have 8 or 9 entertainers that are transgendered and one that is like a boy queen.
The queen, yeah.
So they're used to it. They're used to their entertainers having breasts and hips, which is odd when you think about like it's prevalent there. It's it's more saturated there. But then you look at the bathroom law is there.
Yeah.
Right? When they're everywhere.
It's like, a different.
Yeah. Like I have trans friends who live in North Carolina where these bills are passed, and I'm like, how does it really apply to your life? And they're like, we're not listening. We're going to do us until they arrest me and tell me I can't.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you do. You do a lot for not only me, but for the community. And
cheers.
Love you. Cheers.
Cheers to champagne.
Thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you to my guest, and I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Statler's. If you ever find yourself in downtown Toronto, the heart of the gay village, Church and Wellesley, please hit Statler's. Always something going on. Cheers. We'll see you next time.